Hello, everyone. This is Adam with PsychedelicInvest.com. Today, I'm going to be going over Compass Pathways quarter 4 financials and just give you guys my thoughts on them. And yeah, just a short video on that for you guys. All right, let's get started. So today, Compass Pathways revealed. I'm going to get this mic closer to me. Today, Compass Pathways revealed that their financial results. Sorry, revealed their financial results. Um, and before kind of digging in, I'm gonna tell you, I'm pretty neutral about these financial results. In general, I don't think the market is going to react too negatively to them, but I don't think it's going to be like a super pumped up home run. With that said, let's get into it. So I'm just going to be kind of reading off the highlights of it here, and I'll just be giving you my thoughts as I read off this stuff. So so the highlights for psilocybin therapy, Comp 360. It's in treatment-resistant depression. So positive results from groundbreaking phase 2B clinical trial. Additional data shows patient improvements beyond reduction of depression symptoms, including in positive effect and quality of life. This is great. Anyone who has used psychedelic medicine or knows about psychedelic medicine, this is something we all know. I'm happy that now through their trials they're showing the efficacy here, but I'm not surprised by this. But for, I guess, outside investors looking in, this is great for the sector as a whole. Um, Positive results from open label study of 25 milligrams Comp 360 psilocybin therapy as adjunct to SSRI antidepressants in TRD. So more positive results for Comp 360. And I think what they were doing was using them in conjunction with SSRI antidepressants. So great that they're showing positive results there too. So more positive stuff. Phenomenal. Um, End of phase 2 meeting scheduled with the FDA for late April 2022. Okay, self-explanatory. Phase 3 program expected to begin in second half of 2022. This is the big one. So the phase 3 program. So I'll tell you guys this. If we are expecting good news for that phase 3, let's say the phase 3 readout, the price is going to start jumping as we get closer to the phase 3 readout. This is going to be a big deal for them. And like I said, for a lot of people who are invested in the psychedelic space, we know that the medicine works. We know these things work. So now it's about, I guess, them proving it to the FDA. Okay, additional Comp 360 development program. So phase 2 trial in PTSD was launched at King's College in London. Great. Positive results reported from 2 investigator-led clinical studies in major depressive disorder, one of which has been published in the New England Journal of Medicine. More great exposure for the sector. Awesome. Additional investigator-initiated studies ongoing in multiple indications. Self-explanatory. Pipeline developments. Development of new product candidates through exclusive research product with Dr. Matthias Grill of MIHKAL GmbH. Complementing work done at Compass's Discovery Center. That's great that they're expanding the pipeline. Compass and Atai are the 2 biggest publicly traded psychedelic companies. And they have so much money on hand. So it's great to see them seeing Compass specifically expand their pipeline. Because they can fund it. Sorry, my brain disconnected for a second there. Here, commercial exclusivity and intellectual property. 10 granted patents issued to date covering composition, formulation, and method of use. That's great. Patents are going to be the way these companies kind of generate their money. They're going to patent their patent specific things, patent specific variations of psilocybin. It could be, let's say, like 4-ACO-DMT or whatever. If they create a different one, I don't think anyone has patented 4-ACO-DMT, but I'm just giving an example. So you have psilocybin. Someone might end up patenting something like psilocin, psilin. These are just examples. But it's, I know a lot of investors are not psyched about the patenting of like specific stuff. Like for example, I think early on, people were giving Compass, giving them shit, because of how they were patenting like the color of the room or the way the furniture was like being set up and stuff. But look, it is what it is. These companies are going to be making monies off their money off their patents. So you got to take the good with the bad here in terms of how these companies go about generating revenue for themselves. Patents are going to be the most significant way. And several additional patent filings completed. That's great. Ready? And now we'll dip into the financial highlights. So net loss for the year was $71.7 million. All right, so net loss $71.7 million. So net loss for the quarter was $25.7 million. So keep that in mind, $25.7 million. So their their losses went up, but that makes sense in terms of just paying employees, getting these drugs through the FDA approvals, just R&D expenses, stuff like that. It makes sense. This is a early stage biotech psychedelic company. They will be spending money. Research and development expenses were $44 million. All right, now it's just breaking down where the money was being spent. I'm not going to go into detail on this. And then we'll see the cash. This is the main one. So cash and cash equivalents were $273.2 million as of the 31st of December. Compared with $190.3 million as of the 31st of December of last year. So they actually have more cash now. $273.2 million is a very good runway. So it's simple math. If you just see in terms of how much they're spending per quarter, around $25.7 million, and how much cash they have on hand, $273.2 million. If they don't raise any more funds, and let's say, for example, their losses stay exactly the same, their expenses, they have a cash runway of about 10 quarters. So that's 2 years plus 2 quarters. That's if nothing else happens. So like that is phenomenal. I remember when I did the field trip video for you guys the other day, and I went over their losses and their cash on hand. They had a runway of about a year, I want to say, give or take, in terms of the cash they have on hand. Compass blows them away. Compass, once again, if you're invested in this sector, you have to be paying attention to how much cash on hand these companies have, because this is their lifeline. It's very, very important. Because as an investor, you don't want to worry about dilution. It will happen, but you don't want to have that. Like, you don't want a company that's going to be diluting shareholders constantly just to stay afloat. And like I said, the money to basically push their pipeline through the FDA process. But yeah, so like that's my overview. Like I said, for me, it was pretty neutral. I'm happy to see that they are entering phase 3. I think that's going to be huge now. Phase 3 readout is really going to be the big one. And yeah, like their losses are pretty significant. But they are at the same time making ground up on the cash on hand, and they have a tremendous amount of money on hand. They have a war chest. And Atai Life Sciences owns 20.8% of Compass, and they will help fund them as well. So keep this in mind. And Compass also has, I think, an 8% stake in Delix Therapeutics. So I mentioned that in one of the prior videos, but it's just another way for them to make up some ground in terms of revenue. Here we go. All right, here's the charts for Compass. This is the hour chart for today. So like I said, we have the sell-off in terms of the markets because of the Ukraine-Russia stuff going on right now, conflict. The markets were pretty much dumping in the entire day. So this is just kind of like showing the dump. And then we had as the market started flipping green towards the end of the day, we have the stock price recovering here. Like I said, it doesn't seem like there's been a huge reaction. I see right now in after hours we're at $12.52. I think most investors are going to be focused on what's going to happen in phase 3 with Compass. I would say that you could probably watch Compass and scalp some shares probably closer to like in the $11 range, $11-12, and like low 12s flat, like high 11, or like the mid 11s, $11.50, something like that. And I would be happy with an entry there. If you're bullish on the psychedelic sector, Compass is going to be the first company that benefits from anything because they are the furthest along in the trials. So they're kind of like they're setting the tone for everything else that happens in the psychedelic sector. So there you go. That's Compass for you. And now I'm just going to check ATI. Why am I checking ATI? Because they own 20.8% of Compass, and ATI happens to be one of my favorite. ATI absolutely is one of my favorite psychedelic mental health companies. So ATI is at $5.62 after hours. ATI's chart has been looking pretty good since Cathie Wood decided to dip her toe in the psychedelic sector. So ATI owns 20% of Compass, 20.8% of Compass. So what I'll tell you guys is this. Why do I mention ATI? Because look, if you want to get exposure to Compass, but you want like a more diverse pipeline, then ATI is a good way to do that. So ATI will give you exposure to companies like Intelligenics, Bionomics, and Compass. Those are the publicly traded companies that they have an ownership stake in, and then there are privately held companies that they also have an ownership stake in. I know there's a company in Japan that they're working on ketamine stuff with. Like, ATI is a pretty well diversified psychedelic play. So like I said, jump in Compass if you want that pure psychedelic psilocybin exposure, but ATI is good if you want exposure to Compass with less just specific exposure to psilocybin directly. Yeah, that's the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I will most likely have another video coming by like tomorrow, where I just kind of wrap up the week in psychedelics. If not, I'll talk to you guys next week. This is Adam once again with psychedelicinvest.com. Check out the Discord and visit the website if you want to see some cool articles, stuff like that about the psychedelic sector in general.